Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Wednesday, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. Want to welcome you to the January 25th, 2023 All 60's Soul Edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you for joining Johnny G. We'll be here from 9 to midnight Eastern Time. Probably can do a little bit of overtime because the babysitter is not downstairs, so Johnny G can play it. I don't know if I'm going to really need a babysitter anymore if my parents are really doing well. I wish I was doing better. I thought I wasn't going to be able to do the show tonight because I have a terrible tooth abscess here in my mouth, and I was supposed to have root canal today, but they had to cancel it because they said, you got to be on antibiotics. And I said, well, I really can't take antibiotics because I have a condition that is not good, that, I'm prone to get that terrible C. diff. That is not a good thing to get. So I'm kind of scared with the amoxicillin that I'm taking tonight. So because if I get that again, I will be off the air again for a couple more months because that is a terrible thing I'll have to take care of. But anyway, enough of my babbling here. We opened up tonight's with an instrumental with a on the Columbia label. Actually, this was a cover song. I'm sure you recognize the tune, the J.J. Jackson tune, but It's All Right. But do you know who this artist is? And actually, though, he was one of the pioneers of rock and roll music. William, a.k.a. Bill Patton Black. He was born September 17th, 1926 in Memphis, Tennessee. Started out back in 1952 with Scotty Moore, and then the two joined Elvis's early trio in 1954 to record That's All Right Mama on the Sun label. As bassist then Bill Black, he formed his group in 1959, signed with High Records. I think the first hit was called Smokey 2, but he had another hit, White Silver Sands. That was a big hit for him. But the unfortunate thing, though, for Bill Black is that he died on October 21st of 1965 at the age of 39 of a brain tumor. Very unfortunate. But the band continued without him, and they kept his name. They kept it as the Bill Black's Combo, and they continued to record on High, and then they left to sign with Columbia Records. That was the one we just heard, their first of three from May of 1969 on the Columbia label. That's the J.J. Jackson hit, but It's All Right with the Bill Black's Combo on the Columbia label. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on too much here for a rainy Saturday night, so sit back for the next 3 hours, and we open up the vocal portion here with this singer from Winterville, Mississippi. I have featured his records here on the All 60's edition because I like this artist. He was born in Winterville, Mississippi, but he was raised in Chicago, Illinois. First recording for the Mercury label back in 59. I have that 45. And in 1962, he signed with OK Records to have 18 releases between the years 62 and 68. Let's give a listen to his 8th release on OK. This was a number 24 record on Billboard, 23 on Cashbox. If you were listening on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri, it was a number 5, and also on WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio. This tune written by Curtis Mayfield, arranged by Johnny Pate, our opener vocal from August 64, the great Major Lance on OK Records. It's what Johnny G features every Wednesday night. The song is called Rhythm.
It's in my bones. Anytime the
Yeah, we open up with the sound of Major Lance. Major Lance on the OK record label, song entitled Rhythm. That one there from August 1964. What did I say that was? I said that was his, has Johnny G. Oh my, his 8th release on the OK record label. Thank you, Santi, for correcting me. My mind, I'm telling you, I'm all messed up today. We did a lot of things today here in the house. I was supposed to get a haircut. I went this morning, 10:45. I went out to the gal who was supposed to do the root canal. Of course, she couldn't do it. That was a wasted hour. Then we had a new faucet installed. My mother wanted a new faucet, so there you go. We got that here. So I apologize. It's not Saturday night, although I love a rainy night. No, isn't that a song? I love a rainy night. Who did that? Eddie Rabbit, I think. I bought that record when it came out. Anyway, let's continue here for this next gal. She is out of Los Angeles, California. She made her debut when she was 14 years old back in 1961. She recorded for the Skyla label. The song was called Happy Teenager. But she continued to record with releases through the 1960s, well into the 1970s on labels like SAR and DCP International and Bell and Ranwood and Capitol and Romar. And I think her last single came out on the Roxbury record label. But let's give a listen to this one that she did on Randy Wood's Ranwood record label. Randy Wood, of course, he was owner of the Dot label back in the 1950s. He put out this Ranwood label. Not many hits on the label. Maybe Quentin's Theme was the biggest hit. This should have been a hit from April of 1968. The tune co-written by Barry White. Give a listen to Linda Carr on Ranwood Records. It's called I Feel Love. No, it's called In My Life. That's Miss Linda Carr there, April 1968 release. It's called In My Life, and who mentioned it? Rob Balboni mentioned it sounds a little bit like Diana Ross. It sounds like a Supremes song. It really does. It's called In My Life, came out on the Ranwood record label. Linda Carr there. Tune co-written by Barry White from April 1968. And let's go out to Berkeley, California now for this singer. His name was Freddie Hughes. Now, not to be confused with the singer Fred Hughes, who was out of Chicago. Now, this his first record, this Freddie Hughes, came out on the Hip Star label back in 1967, and this was his second overall release. Came out on Lonnie Hewitt's WEE label, which was out of Oakland, California. Now, this song would be picked up, I think, in the next year or later in the year by Wand Records. So some of you may own this on the Wand label, but I'm featuring the first press, the first of two he recorded for the Wee folks. This was a big #1 record out in San Francisco on KSOL, May 1968. Freddie Hughes on Wee Records. It's called Send My Baby Back. That's out of California there, Freddie Hughes. Freddie Hughes on the first label, Wee Records, also the first release he had on Wand Records. I think he had 3 on the Wand label. May 1968, Freddie Hughes with Send My Baby Back. #1 record on out in San Francisco on KSOL back in 1968. Now, of course, he had 3 on the Wand label and would record into the early 1970s. It was unfortunate, though, that he died of complications from COVID on January 18th, 2022. He was 78 years old. We remember here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go on here. Let's go to New York City now to Jack Taylor's Rojack record label. Now, for this singer, first recording back in 1964, 5 on the 365 label, but he would have 3 more on the Rojack label. Let's give a spin to his second. Now, this singer's name was Wesley Page. Now, for you collectors out there, some of the releases just came out as a solo effort as Wesley Page. Others include the group in the background, and which I consider to be the true first press and a styrene press, no less. But the group is called the Master 3, who recorded earlier as the International GTOs. They are backing up Wesley Page on this. This is from March 1967 on the Rojack label, Wesley Page and the Master 3. It's called I've Got to Find Out for Myself.
They say you got something that will make a hound dog tongue. Pretty baby. And they say you got something that will even make a dead man walk. Pretty baby. They say every time you smile, you make the birds and the bees go wild. But what they say show me nothing. I got to find out for myself. Do you know what I mean? Can't tell it be. They say you got something that will make a blind man see. Well, I don't know what it is, but I know it's got a hold on me. They say every time you shake it, baby, there's not a man alive to take it. But what they say show me nothing. I got to find out. Find out for myself. Do you know what I mean?
I really like that tune there. What do you want for a buck? It's definitely worth $1. That's Wesley Page and the Master 3, March 1967. On the Rojack record label, I've Got to Find Out for Myself. I forget where I got that, but it was really cheap. And I said, because I spend a lot of money on vocal group records, or I did. I haven't lately, but I will hopefully soon once my retirement checks come rolling in. But anyway, that I love to get records like that for $1. I was running the Rojack label too, by the way, but that is a cool record there. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's play this next 45 for Adrian Viterbo, who is in our YouTube chat room, and he wanted to hear this next singer, originally from Latta, South Carolina, but raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, he was a member of the Dell Vikings, but went solo in 1959, first recording as Charles Jackson, but we know him as Chuck Jackson, had a ton of releases on the Juan record label between 61 and 1968. I think in all, maybe around 32, but 7 of those were duets with Maxine Brown, some really nice duets he did with Maxine Brown. But here is his 11th release that Adrian requested, and it's actually a cover tune. This was first done, written and recorded by, William Bell? William Bell. Yes, okay, William Bell. This tune arranged by, I thought Jackie Shane did this too, by the way. But this was arranged by Horace Ott. This charted number 81 on Billboard, number 47 on the R&B chart, a number 5 record on WVKO. If you were listening in Columbus, Ohio, this one from September 1963. This is Chuck Jackson by request for Adrian on the Juan label. It's called Any Other Way.
Call yourself my friend, but I know why you're here. That girl of mine wants to know how I feel. Well, you can tell her that I'm happy, tell her that I'm free, and say that I won't have it. No, 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 any other way. Talking since we've been apart. Everybody saying, there he goes with a broken heart. Well, you can go back and tell her that I'm happy. Tell her that I'm free, and say that I won't have it. No, 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 any other way. Free. That's all I've got to say, my friend. Now I think we better say bye-bye. I think it better go right down, or you might see a big man cry. Just tell her that I'm happy. Go on and tell her that I'm free, and say Chuck wouldn't have it. No, 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 any other way. 'Cause it's free. Yes, I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Every day I'm free. Without you, I'm free. Free at last. Free at last. Free at last.
Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there going out to Adrian, listening in Mexico. I think, Adrian, you're listening. That is Chuck Jackson's rendition of the William Bell tune, Any Other Way, September 1963 release on the Wand record label. Also, Jackie Shane also recorded it, and I have it on Sue, and I'm sure some other people may have recorded that record too, but that is definitely Chuck Jackson. Chuck Jackson, some great releases by Chuck Jackson. Thank you, Adrian, for requesting that one. Let's continue here on the All 60s edition, and Santi should be happy with this, because you know that Johnny G plays a touch of the 70s here. And I really don't go deep into the 1970s, although I was buying 45's. I graduated high school in 1976, so I was buying records in the record store at that time. It wasn't like I was buying every single record, but I did buy a lot, and when I did find them at garage sales and flea markets, I would buy them, even if I hated them. But then I was filling every label, so it just became too crazy, and I stopped that because I would buy records for 50 cents and $1 from all the dealers. They would give me, promo copies into the early 90s, believe it or not. But this one is from September 1970 here, and it's the only release for this gal. Actually, she was a singer, model, and actress out of New York City. The song written and produced and arranged by her future husband. He was going to marry her eventually, I think sometime in the mid 1970s. But his name was Rick. Oh wait, Charlene is. It's Rick. Oh, I have Rich. It should be Rick. Is that what you said, Charlene? It's Rick Shorter, not Rich Shorter. There you go. It's Rick Shorter, and he had releases of his own, but this is from September 1960. This is on the Lionel label. What was a hit on that label? Is it the Five-Man Electrical Band? A song called Signs. I think that was the big hit on this label, and although there's some great records, I think the Satisfactions have some cool 45's soul records on this label, but this is Gwen Simmons, September 1970 on the Lionel label. It's called Don't Cry. So what did you think of that one? A touch of the 70s there. I think, Warren, you said it didn't sound like the 70s, but that is what do you got? I've got that record for A Song and a Dance, probably like 5 cents. Guy had a whole bunch of these Lionel releases. I just purchased them all. And I sometimes would buy multiple copies of this stuff. I haven't looked through a lot of my 60s boxes now in over 3 months now because of the, of all the COVID situation here. But that is a cool tune. Gwen Simmons is her name, September 1970 release on the Lionel record label. Don't Cry is the name of the tune. Now, they would later, her and her husband, Rick, would record as Rick and Gwen Shorter. And they had a release. I don't know was it on that label, Charlene? I'm not sure. Anyway, we continue here for this next singer, probably mostly known as a country singer, as he had hits in the 1970s. He's from Robbinsville, North Carolina, first recorded for the Princess label back in 1963, then signed with Scepter Records, had 8 releases on the Scepter label. This is his first, and it's a very soulful sound for him, a tune written by Valerie Simpson, Nick Ashford, and Joanne Armstead. This hit the Billboard charts. It bubbled under at number 106, but if you were listening in Waycross, Georgia to WACL, it was a big number 6 record on that survey. Let's go to October 1965 for Mr. Ronnie Milsap. Ronnie Milsap on the Scepter label. It's called Never Had It So Good.
Never had it so good. Never had it so good before.
in a lifetime, the right girl comes along. And when you find her, brother, you better hang on. Could I leave my baby? No, I don't think I could, 'cause I've never had it so good. No, no, never had it so good before. I'm always so proud to take her out, and when I'm around the guys, she's all I talk about. And she treats me just like she should now. Never had it so good. Never had it so good before. Now I want to tell the world all about my girl. She's like the rain that makes the flowers grow. That's why I love her so now. And she pleases me in every way, and I mean what I say. Never had it so good. Got to tell the world, never had it so good before. Now she makes me forget about all the bad times. My heartaches and cares, they're all left behind. Could I leave my baby? No, I never could, 'cause I never had it so good. Now listen to me, baby. Never had it so good before. Never had it so good. Oh, you know I'm talking, baby. Never had it so good before.
That's the sound of Ronnie Milsap here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's his first of 8 from October 1965. Never Had It So Good on Scepter Records. That's one of the thousands of labels that Johnny G collects. I still collect it because if I can pick them up on the cheap, I'll definitely buy missing numbers, but they really got to be cheap. They got to be between 1 to 10 cents. Then I'll pay the price. Oh, really? I've been testing. Well, I have been buying some records from someone local. I will admit that. So on my way to ShopRite, I will stop over at his house and buy some records that he gets. But anyway, Johnny G babbling on here, and let's go to Philadelphia now. This gal is out of Philadelphia, PA. At one time, she dated singer Eddie Holman, I would bet, when he was recording for this label, Parkway Records. But her real name was Dolores Cooper, but she recorded under a couple of aliases, Terry Stevens, and the name on this 45 is Christine Cooper. But she would have 3 releases on the Parkway label. Let's give a listen to her first, a tune written and produced by Sal Trimacci and Richie Cordell. This is arranged by Artie Butler. This charted number 3 if you were listening to WZUM in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's go back to January 1966. Give a listen to Christine Cooper. Christine Cooper on the Parkway record label. It's called SOS, My Heart in Distress.
Story going down, down, down.
That's the sound of Christine Cooper here on the All 60s edition. January 1966, that's her first of three on the Parkway label. SOS in parentheses, Heart in Distress. Johnny G, definitely in distress with the pain in my well, I think it's a molar here that's inflamed here, but I'm going to be on you got to pray for me to being on the amoxicillin. I am so scared of taking that. I got to take lots of probiotics here. Every 8 hours, I'm worried about that. But how about a twin spin with a Miss Christine Cooper? We just heard her first. Let's give a listen to her third. This tune written by Jerry Cassinets, Jeff Katz, and Elliot Chip Pruitt, if I said it right, and for Super K Productions, as was the first release for Super K Productions. You know those guys, they were involved with the Buddha releases of 1910 Fruit Gum Company and Ohio Express and all that. Well, here they are writing some cool soul tunes. This is from December 1966. Christine Cooper, this is her third on the Parkway label. It's called Good Looks, parentheses, They Don't Count.
My father was a man so wise. He taught me about the facts of life. And one thing that sticks out in my mind, been it for a long, long time. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. He said I should be nobody's fool. Never ever be that I should follow his golden rule when looking for someone in good taste. Don't fall for just a pretty face. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. Now if you fall for some pretty girl, she'll bring you down. She'll make out that she loves you so, you know it to be found. He said, my pet, you must take heed. For what I tell you, it's a guarantee. I've been around long enough, and I know days come and go. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. Papa said that good looks, they don't count. Papa said that good looks, they don't count.
As Johnny G gets caught here for the first time this evening, yes, I did. I didn't get to show you this next record, so we'll let it be a surprise. It's on the Cap label. You can guess what it is, but there you go. That's a twin spin for Miss Christine Cooper. I think that's actually the B-side of the 45, which I think is the better side in my opinion. Christine Cooper, December 66, her third release on the Parkway label. Good Looks, parentheses, They Don't Count is the name of the tune. 45's, that's what counts here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Hope you're digging on the tunes, those of you on Oldies and More Radio listening in, and those of you on the YouTube. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends. Johnny G's playing Soul 45's on a Wednesday evening as we go to this next artist, born in Hartford, Connecticut, first recording for the Top Rank label back in 1960, but he had 8 releases on the Cap label. Let's give a listen to his sixth. Both sides of this are excellent in my opinion. This tune written by Bob Crew and Bob Gaudio, produced by Bob Crew, arranged by Artie Butler. This charted number 49 on WHYN in Springfield, Massachusetts. We go to October 1962 for Mr. Jerry Jackson. Jerry Jackson on the Cap label. The song is called She Lied.
She needed me, she said. She wanted me, she said. Now I know instead she lied. She lied. be anybody else's girl. Don't you cry, she said goodbye to me. She said, wish that I were dead. She lied, I said she lied, oh she lied, well she lied, I said that she lied, oh yeah, well she lied, I said she lied, why'd she tell a lie, yes she told a lie, why'd she tell a lie, yes she told a lie.
That's the great sound of Jerry Jackson here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And that was another, Mike Layton. I think you sold me that 45 a long time ago. I think that was him. Jerry Jackson there, that's his fifth release on the Cap label. I think North Dakota Bob, you said it, that all the records by Jerry Jackson are pretty good. They are. I'll be looking for more of his, I think I got them all. I might be missing one or two, but that's from October 62. Jerry Jackson on the Cap record label. She Lied is the name of the tune. And I don't know if you know the flip side, because the flip side's good too. Couldn't decide, but we're going to play it. And he would have later releases on Columbia and also Parkway Records. But let's flip over She Lied from October 1962. Is this another Bob Gaudio pen tune here? Yes. It's a Bob Gaudio pen tune here. And this is the B-side. It's called Wide Awake in a Dream. This is Jerry Jackson.
Even though you touch my hand, I can't believe you're real. I can't believe the things I feel. There they are. Your lips again, don't let them leave no more, because I need them now for sure, need them now for sure. Wide awake in a dream, looking at you. Wide awake in a dream, the sound of music begins with the magic you do. Can it be? I've lost my mind, oh, but I need you so. I can't believe you leave me so. Wide awake in a dream.
That was big production on both sides of that 45. That's Jerry Jackson. His fifth release on the Cap record label, great two-sided 45. That's Wide Awake in a Dream from October 1962. Let's go to this gal, her only release on Vince Gary and Joey Villa's Hallmark record label, which is out of New York City. Now, this song is adapted from a 1963 release on the Wilshire record label by a group called the Love Notes. And this tune written by Vince Gary and Pete Alonso. This is produced by the label owners and arranged by Don French. This charted number 38 on WLAN if you were listening in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Let's go to September of 1969. Her name is Leona Dunn. Leona Dunn on Hallmark Records. It's called Our Songs of Love.
Some old songs of love. Remember, remember, little star, little star, how I wonder, baby, we walk through the park with your radio playing. The shield were singing a song of love. Remember, remember, you cheated your life, and all your life. This, I swear, is true.
September 69 release there, Leona Dunn on the Hallmark record label, Our Songs of Love. I think there's a variation on the label. There's like a yellow and red label, which might be really the first press. I have it on the red Hallmark record label. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. If you like what you hear, you can email me and let me know at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Also, if you like the show, please click the thumbs up, those of you watching on YouTube. Very important here. YouTube lets me, well, maybe they let me get away with a little bit. I don't know. Maybe this is an educational show. Yes, it is. And we're going to give you a little education about this next singer. And this singer is out of Los Angeles, California. He was the lead singer of the 1950s vocal group, the Medallions. and recorded for Dootsy Williams' Dutone record label. Feature them often on my 50s show, and you might be familiar with their debut single, a song called The Letter, Sweet Words of Pismotality. I think that's the song, The Letter, from 1954. Now, on my last 50 show, I featured one of theirs called The Telegram, but his name is Vernon Green, and he would continue to record into the 1960s with some soulful releases on different labels, of course. And here's one he did on the Minute label, a tune written by his older brother, Jimmy Green, wrote this tune for him. Let's go back to December 1967. This is Vernon Green, I think with the Medallions, accompanied by the Medallions, it says on the label. This is on the Minute record label, another cheapo that I bought. I don't know what this goes for, but if I saw, I definitely would buy the record for sure. This is Vernon Green and the Medallions on the Minute record label. It's called Look at Me, Look at Me.
I told all my friends that I would never fall in love, and no one girl could ever make me a puppy love. My heart times have changed ever since I know you. Listen to me, darling, can't you see? My head's in a spin, what a bad shape I'm in. Look at me, look at me. I never believe that I can ever steal a kiss, and no one girl that I can ever miss. My heart times have changed ever since I learned your name. Listen to me, darling, can't you see? My head's in a spin, what a bad shape I'm in. Look at me, look at me. Ooh, you got me spinning, yeah. You got me when you want me. Now what you gonna do? Yeah, I never did believe. No, I never did believe. No, that I could ever fall.
There you go. That's the sound of a more contemporary Vernon Green and the Medallions there. That one there on the Minute record label. Song, did I lose my place? Yes, I did. Song entitled Look at Me, Look at Me. That one there, December 1967 on the Minute record label. And this is another gal that would sang back in the 1950s. She was born in Sanford, Florida. Her real name was Marie Roach. I feature this gal quite often on my 50s show. Began recording back in 1954, just like Vernon Green, for the Mercury / Wing record labels, also releases on Baton plus other labels, but she continued into the 1960s, as did Vernon Green. She has some big monster soul 45's. I don't think this is one of them, but she does. And this is her first of 3 that came out on the New York City Diamond label. Tune written by Horace Ott, Don Covey, produced by Stanley Kahn, Mel Williams, and arranged again by Horace Ott. I tell you, if I see Horace Ott on the 45, I'm going to buy it. Now, this was a number 21 record on WITH in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's go back to April 1963. Give a listen to Marie Knight. Marie Knight on the Diamond label. It's called I Was Born Again.
I woke up this morning with a born again. I never knew love would be like this. Born again, born again. I never knew love would be like this. Born again, born again. I never knew love would be like this.
That's Miss Marie Knight from April 1963, her first of three on the Diamond record label. I Was Born Again. Nice, very, what do you call that? Forceful voice there for Miss Marie Knight. She's got some good 50s records too with vocal groups that you'll hear on my 50s show. Let's continue now for this group that formed back in can't read my writing here, 1966 at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. They only had 3 releases. One on Chartmaker in 1966, another on the Win Hit label, and finally this 45 that I'm featuring that came out on the Pathway label. This tune co-written by the lead singer of the group. His name is James Mitchell. And this is a cool, I'll tell you right now, this was not a cheapie for Johnny G. This is from November 1967. They're called the Servicemen. The Servicemen on the Pathway label. It's called I Need a Helping Hand.
All of my life to someone I've been wrong, but now at my age I find the nights are cold and very long. Still in my heart I try to be strong. Yes, 'cause I'm a man and I know I need a helping hand. Somewhere in this world there's a love for me to share. But right now my main interest is for me to show them that I care. I know that I've done a lot of things that won't time a man, and I know I need a helping hand. Yes, I know I need a helping hand. Yeah, yeah. Right now for me, I know I have to pray and ask the Lord up above to please send some help my way. I know that I've done a lot of things that won't time a man, and I know I need a helping hand. Yes, I know, baby, I need. Yes, I need, baby, I need. Yes, I
That's James Mitchell and the Servicemen there, November 1967 release. Featured it on the First Press label, the orange label Pathway record label. That is the first way to get this 45. I Need a Helping Hand is the name of the tune. Johnny G's going to need, well, hopefully I won't need a helping hand. Hopefully this infection in my tooth will clear up. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it does and everything turns out all right. Let's just hope for that as we continue here on the All 60s edition. Now, you know this group from the Bronx, New York. They had a big hit back in actually it was released at the end of 57 into 1958, was a big hit for them, a song called Maybe, but here they are moving all the way up to 1966 with a release on the Verve label. This is their second of 2 on Verve, again arranged by Horace Ott. And the lineup at this time, there were 3 original members of the group that were still singing back in 1966. It was Renee Minnis, and she is the lead on this, Sonia Goring, and Jackie Landry. A 4th member, Helen Powell, who previously sang with the Impacts and Barbara English and the Fashions. She ended up joining the group. So let's go to August 1966. This is the second of two on the Verve label for the Chantels, and their tune is called Indian Giver. As later Chantels, not Arlene Smith on lead. The lead singer on that one is Renee Minus. Did I say it right? Yeah, M-I-N-U-S. That one there from August 1966. Indian Giver, the name of the tune. That's their second of two on the Verve record label. And Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room asked Johnny G to flip over the 45, so we can do those instant requests. It's not like I get, a lot of requests. I do get some requests here on the 60s edition that I will play, but I'll play it. If I see you guys in the chat room, I'll give it a spin. If not, we'll do an instant request if you guys know the song is good versus if you don't know, because I don't want to get caught with because I usually listen to all the tunes if it fits the format. But we're going to flip it over here because we know Mark has great tastes. And here are the Chantels. We flip it over. Is this the B side here or the A side? 103, 166, 103, 64. Yeah, this is the B side. So let's put the needle on the record. This is an instant request from Mark Speck in the YouTube chat room. We flip over Indian Giver. These are the Chantels with It's Just Me from 1960. What did I say? The date was here as I lost my mind. August 1966.
It's just me. It's just me. If you think you hear a voice
B-sides here on the All 60s edition. Those are the Chantels, the flip side of Indian Giver. It's Just Me is the name of the tune. That's an instant request for listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room, and it features Renee Minnis on lead there from August 1966 on the Verve record label. I'm pretty sure this next singer is out of New York. He would have two releases on Clarence Fats Lewis's Fallu record label, which was also out of New York City. Now here's his first, arranged by Gene Red, produced by the label owner Fats Lewis. This charted number 16 on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's go to April of 1964 and give a listen to Tommy Duncan. Tommy Duncan on the Fallu record label. It's called Dance, Dance, Dance.
I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. Too close to my baby. Once I had a sweet little girl, and we would go to every dance. When we walked through the door, all the fellas would hold out their hand. But I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. Too close together. Me and my baby got along real nice, and we never liked to fuss or fight. When she go out on the floor and the music gets too slow, I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. Too close together, where you can do the monkey, yeah, yeah, and you can do the twist, yeah, yeah, and you can do the dog. When the music gets slow, yeah, yeah, you know my heart can't take much more. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to dance, dance, dance. Too close together. And if you love me, you won't dance, dance, dance. And if you want me back, you'll dance, dance, dance. Love and protect you, baby. Dance, dance, dance. And just to be your guy. Dance, dance, dance. I don't want you to get too close. Dance, dance. Please don't get too close, baby.
April 64 there for Tommy Duncan. Tommy Duncan on the Fallu record label. Song entitled Dance, Dance, Dance. That's his first of two. Now, how about a twin spin on Tommy Duncan? This was his follow-up here, a song he co-wrote with the label owner Fats Lewis. This one arranged by Horace Ott, and who I think may have co-owned this label also with Fats Lewis. This one, the first one released in April 64. His second came out in August 64. Tommy Duncan, his follow-up to Dance, Dance, Dance on the Fallu label. It's called Too Much Time.
Don't you give your woman too much time, too much time. And don't you give your woman too much time. Don't give her too much time, too much time. 'Cause this will start trouble in your woman's mind. Now here's a story I'm gonna pass to you. It's very simple, but it's very true. And when I'm through, you will say, that old boy sure telling the truth. Don't give her too much time, too much time. Don't you give your woman too much time. Don't give her too much time, too much time. 'Cause that will start trouble in your woman's mind. a job. Tell her if she don't, she might starve. I know it's gonna be very hard for you to say, but you gotta tell her the same story every day. Don't give her too much time, too much time. And don't you give your woman too much time. Don't give her too much time, too much time. 'Cause this will start trouble in your woman's mind. Too much time, she'll leave you with a worried mind. Too much time, too much time. I had 2 jobs, working day and night. Gave my woman everything out of sight. Came home one night from work feeling bad. Lord, the woman has taken everything I had. Too much time, too much time, too much time. And she'll leave you with a worried mind. Make her work every day.
There you go. That's a twin spin with Mr. Tommy Duncan. Tommy Duncan on the Fallu record label. We opened up with his first Dance, Dance, Dance from April 64. His second in August 64. Tommy Duncan with Too Much Time. Johnny G, hopefully not taking too much of your time on a Wednesday evening. Hope you're digging on these cool 60s 45s out of my collection. Those of you on Oldies and More Radio, also those of you tuned in to the YouTube chat room here, you all know this next gal out of Philadelphia, PA. She had 13 releases for the folks at Cameo Records between the years 1962 and 1964. Her real name is Dion LaRue, but she is better known as Miss Dee Dee Sharp. And let's give a spin to her 9th release on the Cameo label. This one arranged and conducted by Charlie Colello. This charted number 28 on WWDC. If you were listening in Washington, D.C., let's go to September 1964. Miss Dee Dee Sharp on the Cameo label. The song is called Good.
Cheated, I was good. Whoa,
Out of Philadelphia, PA, the sound of Dee Dee Sharp, September 1964 release on the Cameo record label, her ninth release. Is that right? Yeah, her ninth release on the Cameo record label. Song entitled Good. And our Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room wants Johnny G to flip over the 45. And we're going to do that instantly here for Mark, because it's a great two-sided 45 in my opinion. I think Warren likes this side better, so we'll send it out to Warren Russell in our YouTube chat room also. Dee Dee Sharp here, September 1964. The flip side of Good on the Cameo record label. It's called Deep Dark Secret. Go instant request there from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. That's Dee Dee Sharp. That's the flip side of Good, song entitled Deep Dark Secret from September 1964 on the Cameo record label. And after Cameo, she signed with Atco Records in 1966, and in 1967 she would marry record producer Kenny Gamble. Would produce, I think, her records after that, a lot on the Atco record label and other labels that she does. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. If I get confused here, it means the amoxicillin going to my head is, yeah, I think that's the one I'm taking. Anyway, we continue now. Let's stay in Philadelphia, though, with this group that first recorded for Buddy Caldwell's Len record label in 1960. That's a great record, their first release from 1960. But they also provided the background vocals for many of Chubby Checker's hits on the Parkway label, plus other artists too that recorded for Cameo and Parkway, but they are best known probably for their 1961 release on the Heritage label called When We Get Married. They have a number of releases on different labels like End and Columbia and Casino and Swan and Cameo and Mercury, and this label I'm featuring, the Warner Brothers record label. This tune written by Vinnie Poncia, Pete Andreoli, and Jerry Ross, who also, Jerry Ross produced it too, and it's arranged by, no, I wrote that wrong. It's probably Jimmy Wisner, isn't it? Charlene, as I lost my... Yeah, arranged by Jimmy Wisner. What did I write Warner Brothers there for? Anyway, but the lead singer on this, his name is Morris Russ Gardner, and this bubbled under at number 121. I think they reissued this on the Mercury label. I think it's the flip side of Calling Joanne, I think, that Mercury put it out. But this is the first way on Warner Brothers Records, March 1965. Give a listen to the Dream Lovers. It's called You Gave Me Somebody to Love, the Dream Lovers.
Baby, it's been hard for me since you've been gone. But you left me with the strength to carry on. Though it hurts so much, I've accepted the fact we're through. 'Cause the greatest gift in life I got from you.
That's the great sound of the Dream Lovers here on the All 60s edition. Morris Gardner, he's the lead singer on that one. March 1965, featured it on the Warner Brothers record label. You Gave Me Somebody to Love is the name of that one. Hopefully Johnny G giving you some cool 45's to love as we continue here for this next group. They're out of Los Angeles, California. The group consisted of Fanita James, Darlene Love, and lead singer Gracia Ann May. Now, some of you, Gracia Ann May, she was the wife of musician, arranger, songwriter, and record producer Jack Nietzsche. And I think she was married to him since 1959. As Jack produced and arranged this tune. This charted number 23 if you were listening on KRLA out in Los Angeles, California. Let's go to April 1966. These are the Satisfactions. The Satisfactions on the Imperial record label. It's called Daddy, You Gotta Let Him In.
Riding into town tonight, roaring down the back streets, 'cause he knows he's gotta keep out of sight. There was trouble on the road, and they're blaming him. Now he needs a place to hide away, and Daddy, you just gotta let him in.
That tune, very Phil Spector-ish, I have to say. Those are the Satisfactions from April 1966 on the Imperial record label. And Gracia May, she's the lead singer on that. We said that she was married to Jack Nietzsche, who then divorced her to marry Buffy St. Marie. You were correct there, Cool Transports. But that one there, the Satisfactions, Daddy, You Gotta Let Him In. Gracia May also recorded under the alias of Carrie Lynn and Sammy Lynn, and also she was a member of the Westwoods, the Moments, and the Shacklefords. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening, pouring rain out here. Thank goodness it wasn't snow. It started out as snow, but then it kind of warmed up. It's currently, well, it says heavy rain, doesn't give the temperature yet, but it was like 40-something, 42 when I had to head over to CVS to get that medication before it closed, that they closed their pharmacy. Anyway, we continue here with this request for listener Jerry Nazen. The group is out of Jersey City, New Jersey. They had 4 releases for the Columbia record label, and how unfortunate none of those releases were ever big hits. 3 of their records bubbled under in the 100s, and they're great tunes, they are. And this would probably be their biggest hit. This one charted 93 on Billboard. That would have to be their biggest Billboard hit. 84 on Cashbox, 23 on the R&B, although it was a big record up in Chicago if you were listening to WBEE. A number 2 record on WBEE in Chicago. It features Robert Shivers on lead. This is going out to listener Jerry Nays in August 65. They're called the Spellbinders. The Spellbinders on Columbia. The song is called For You.
I would cross the desert sands on my knees and hands for you, girl. For you, girl. For you. For you. For you. Baby, baby, baby. I would swim the deepest sea if I thought you wanted me to, girl. For you. For you, baby, baby, baby. You've been so good to me. Everything a lover should be. So sweet in every way. And that's why I wanna say there is nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for you, girl. For you, for you, baby, 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 for you. Yes, my baby, 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 girl. So good to me. Everything a lover should be. So sweet in every way. And that's why I wanna say there is nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for you, girl. For you, girl. For you. For you, baby, 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 for you. I would cross the desert sands for you, girl. Hey, for you, baby, baby, baby.
Now that should have been a hit there. That's going out to Jerry Nazen. The Sound of the Spellbinders, that one there from August 1965. That's their first release on the Columbia label. Robert Shivers, the lead singer on that, For You. Johnny G is here for you, the Vinyl Treasure listener. Those of you tuned in on Oldies and More Radio, hope you're digging on the tunes. Also, those of you in the YouTube chat room, tell your friends about the program. Let's continue here for this gal. She's from Brooklyn, New York, began her career back in 1963 recording for ABC Paramount Records. Other releases followed on the Gold and Blue Cat label. Then in 1966, she signed with Cameo. She had 4 releases on the Cameo label. Let's give a listen to the A-side of her first release for Cameo, written by then session guitarist Al Jaroni and Chip Taylor. This is from June 1966. Let's give a listen to Evie Sands. Evie Sands on the Cameo label. It's called Picture Me Gone.
Picture me in someone else's arms.
is making you look twice at me. So baby, when you look me over, before you tell me that it's over, picture me with someone else's arms. Picture me with someone else. Are you sure you can go on? Picture me gone, baby. Picture me gone, yeah. Well, I understand that little boys all want to play, but baby, be sure that you can see tomorrow today. So baby, when you look me over, before you tell me that it's over, picture me in someone else's arms. Baby, picture me with someone else. Are you sure you can go on? Picture me gone, baby. Picture me gone, yeah. I don't want this to happen, but if it must, I'll give my love to someone that I can trust. But if you decide that I'm the only one for you, then I'll make you see that you can really picture me true. So baby, when you look me over, before you tell me that it's over, picture me with someone else's arms. Baby, picture me with someone else. Are you sure you can go on? Picture me gone, baby. Picture me gone, yeah. Picture me with someone else's arms. Baby, picture me making love to you. Are you sure you can go on? Picture me gone, baby. Picture me gone. Picture me with someone else's arms. Baby, picture me with someone else. Are you sure you can go on? Picture me gone.
As June 1966 release there from Miss Evie Sands. Evie Sands, that's her first release, first of four on the Cameo label. Picture Me Gone is the name of the two. She has later releases. I played one on A&M that's really good by her from, 69 or early 70. I think I have played that here on the show. She's got later releases on Haven and also RCA Records, Miss Evie Sands. We continue here on the All 60s edition, and up next, a group that got their start back in 1953, recording for the Atlantic record label. I mostly feature their tunes on my 1950s and early 60s show. That is Saturday nights from 9 to midnight. Tune in on Saturday night right here on YouTube. But they had many great lead singers during their career, or the career of this group, and many went on to very successful solo careers. Clyde McPhatter, Benny King, Charlie Thomas, Rudy Lewis, Johnny Moore, Johnny Lee Williams, and Bobby Hendricks. They would have 49 releases for the Atlantic record label between the years 1953 and 1971. Now let's give a spin to their 43rd release for Atlantic. This charted number 62 on KLZ out of Denver, Colorado, and this one features Johnny Moore on lead, a tune written and produced by Bert Burns, arranged by Artie Butler. Let's go to May of 1966 for the sound of the Drifters here on the All 60s edition on Atlantic Records. It's called Up in the Streets of Harlem.
10th and Park. That's where my baby waits for me. There in the dark. And I'm going to tell her tonight. Oh baby, don't wait for me, I've got to go now. Baby, don't you see, we've got to show now that this world is much too slow now. Up in the streets of Harlem, 125th. They say we always swing there. What a lie, what a myth. And I'm going to tell her tonight. Oh baby, don't turn your back on me, I'm leaving. I've got to fight for what I believe in. Don't want no more hate and grieving. You know that I love you, but I'm going away from the streets of Harlem. From the streets of Harlem. Up in the streets of Harlem, the tenements and the dirt. I see my baby's face there, full of shame, full of hurt. And I'm going to tell her tonight. Oh baby, please let me go, my friends are dying. I can't sleep 'cause I know they're trying to keep the little one from crying. In the streets of Harlem. In the streets of Harlem. In the streets of Harlem.
There you go, the sound of the Drifters on the All 60s edition. Now we should just play Spanish Harlem by Benny King, and we will be complete. Those are the Drifters there. Johnny Moore on lead, May 1966 on Atlantic Records, Up in the Streets of Harlem. Hope you're digging on these cool tunes here. Let's continue now. I often feature this next group from Chicago here on the All 60s show, formed while attending Marshall High School in Chicago, recording for OK Records beginning in 1963. Then they signed with Brunswick Records in 66 to have 16 releases through 1973. Last week, I featured their third from February 67 called Girl, I Need You. Here is their 10th release, produced by Carl Davis, arranged by Sonny Sanders. It features Tommy Green on lead. This charted number 10, a number 10 record on WNOV in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's go to September 1968 for the Artistics. The Artistics on the Brunswick record label. It's called Lonely Old World.
It's a lonely old world. Oh, yes it is, baby. It's a lonely old world. All right. Would you please forgive me for what I've done to make you want to give your love to another one? All my smiles and all my little joy, it's a lonely old world. Oh, yes it is, darling. It's a lonely old world. All right, yeah. You used to make me happy when I was feeling blue, and do all those things a lonely old world. I could never love again, darling, ever since you've been gone. Oh yeah, alright. Who could it be but you, my love, and I love you. Oh yeah, nobody else will love and ever.
B-sides here on the All 60s show. Those are the great Artistics. Artistics on the Brunswick record label. Lonely Old World is the name of that tune. That song's from September 1968. Listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room wants to hear the A-side of the 45. Another great two-sided 45s. Many of these that I feature are. As we flip over Lonely Old World, this is the A-side. The A-side released in September of 68. It's called You Left Me. These are the Artistics.
All the trouble we underwent just to get your folks' consent to make our love permanent. But what to my astonishment, you left me, baby. Oh, you left me. You left me, baby. We had our problems, and I'll agree. You made things worse by leaving me. All the birds and all the bees hang their heads in sympathy when you left me, baby. Oh, you left me. Ooh, you left me, baby. Cupid himself, he would be so sorry. Sorry, he made a mistake when he shot his arrow at you and you and me. I've been lost alone and blue since the day you said we were through. I keep asking myself, what did I do? Is it because of someone new that you left me, baby? Oh, you left me. I tell you that you left me, baby. I can't carry on since you've been gone. You
That's an instant request there for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. That's the intended A-side for the Artistics, You Left Me, from September 1968. Came out on the Brunswick record label. Prior to that, we featured the B-side, Lonely Old World is the name of that one. We move on here for this group from St. Louis, Missouri, but they recorded their debut single on a Chicago-based label called Duo Records. And this tune produced by Andre Williams. This charted number 30 on the R&B charts, a big number 4 record if you were listening on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. These are the Profiles from August 1968 on the Duo label. It's called If I Didn't Love You.
Try to kiss you along the way. Never
That's the sound of the whoops, I lost my place. That's the sound of the profiles here on the All 60s edition, August 1968 release on Duo Records. If I Didn't Love You is the name of that tune. Now, in 1969, they would sign with the Bamboo record label for 3 releases. And for you collectors out there, the true first press of this would have an incorrect apostrophe in the word didn't, D-I-D apostrophe N-T. That is wrong. It should be D-I-D-N apostrophe T, so check the copy that you own as we continue here. And this 45, written and produced by Larry Weiss. Larry Weiss, one of the many working out of the Brill Building back in the early 1960s out of New York City. Now, this quartet consisted of sisters Trisha and Evie Patane, P-A-T-A-N-E, I can't see anymore. Jeez. Sylvia Torres, and the lead singer on this, Carol Mancuso, C-A-R-E-L-L, Carol Mancuso. Now, both sides are good in my opinion, but this is on the Morris Levy Roulette record label from October 1966. Let's give a listen to the Carolines. The Carolines on the Roulette label. It's called You're My Baby. Those are the sound of those. Where did I lose my place there? Yes, I did. The Carolines there. Our Carolines on Morris Levy's Roulette record label from October 1966. You're My Baby. Carol Mancuso. She's the lead singer. Both sides are good on this. I think that with their next release, they recorded on the Dyna Voice record label as the Little Beats. I have that 45 by the Little Beats. Let's move on here on the All 60s edition. And this next singer, originally from Pensacola, Florida, he relocated to Detroit. First recorded as a member of the Velvetones that recorded on the Deb label back in 1959, but he went solo in 1962, signing with Columbia Records, and then he moved over to the Columbia subsidiary OK label for 14 releases. Now, this was his 8th, arranged by Riley Hampton. This bubbled under at number 130. This was a number 40 on the R&B chart and a big number 6 record if you were listening on WRBD in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And This is from February 64. Let's give a listen to Walter Jackson. Walter Jackson on the OK record label. It's called After You, There Can Be Nothing. Walter Jackson.
I never taste another tender kiss. It won't matter, 'cause there's nothing left to miss. 'Cause no kiss ever tasted so sweet. Oh, loving you is so complete. But I know if you ever go after you, there can't be nothing, nothing left for me. After you, I know there can't be nothing. 'Cause if you know the best, you don't need the rest. My lifetime loving you, and every day, darling, I know the feeling would be new. Just trust in me, I won't deceive you. I'd rather lay right down and die than leave, 'cause I know if you ever go after you, there can't be nothing, nothing left for me. After you, I know there can't be nothing. 'Cause if you know the best, you don't need the rest. After you, there can't be nothing. Come on home and see. After you, my baby, there can't be nothing. I need you.
That is a very cool record. I like that too. I was looking for something. I don't know. I saw it because I have Walter Jackson both in my 60s and my 50s boxes. So I said, I got to take him out of there. I got to put him in the 60s collection. But that is a cool tune. Walter Jackson there, February 1964 on the OK record label. After You, There Can Be Nothing. And he had been crippled by polio as a child and spent much of his life on crutches. If you see his performances, like on Where the Action Is, he's always sitting down. He was like, there's a clip of him, I forget what song he's doing in the like in an auditorium, and he's sitting in the seat and he's actually looking backwards, and he'll be on he'll always be sitting down, as unfortunately that is the case. But anyway, great tune there by Walter Jackson. Let's continue here. Featured the A side of this Motown 45 on my January 11th show. The song was called When Someone's Good to You, as done by Carolyn Crawford. Now, the flip side is a request for listener Jimmy Amato. Now, Carolyn won a local talent contest and a recording contract with Motown Records, and the result were 3 singles on the Motown record label. And let's flip over that When Someone's Good to You for this flip side. Berry Gordy Jr. wrote When Someone's Good to You. Smokey Robinson wrote the flip side. This is going out to Jimmy Amato from November 64, Carolyn Crawford on Motown Records. The song is called My Heart.
lips must be connected to my heart. I found out when you said we had to part. At first I couldn't believe that I had heard it. How could you have fixed your mouth to word it? I thought that you had come so you could hold me. I just couldn't believe that you had told me we must part. Oh my baby, I heard it with my ears, but a pain ran through my heart. Poor heart. Oh yeah. My heart must be connected to my eyes, something I had never realized until I saw you walking out of my door, saying that I'd never see you anymore. At first I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You don't know the shape that you left me in when we had to part. Oh my baby, I saw you with my eyes, but a pain ran through my heart. Oh heart, oh yeah. My lips can only miss the way we used to kiss. My eyes can only let the tears rain. My ears can hear the news of the new love you may choose, but my poor heart, it has to stand the pain. My eyes must be connected to my heart, 'cause ever since the day we had to part, baby, I don't think I ever told you, but my arms are aching just to hold you. At first I couldn't believe my arms had freed you. Come on back to me because I need you to make a new start, baby. Let my eyes look your way one more time. Let my ears hear you say you'll be mine. Let my arms wrap around you and hold you close to my heart. Oh heart, oh yeah, to my heart.
That's the sound of Motown here on the All 60s edition. Carolyn Crawford there, her third single on the Motown label, written by Smokey Robinson, My Heart, released in November of 1964. Johnny G spinning all 60s. We do it every Wednesday night right here on YouTube and also simultaneously broadcast on the Oldies and More radio network. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. We continue now with this next 45. It used to be, I think, Mark, a big bucks on this 45. I don't know if it's big bucks now. Those Northern Soul collectors were looking for records like this back in the 1970s. This singer goes by the name of E.J. Chandler, and he had an earlier release on the Gray Sounds label back in 1966, but this was his very next release on the SOS label, a subsidiary of Gray Sounds. SOS stands for Sounds of Soul. So let's give a listen to E.J. Chandler. This one came out in April 1967. E.J. Chandler on Sounds of Soul. It's called I Can't Stand to Lose You.
I can't stand to lose you, baby. I can't stand to lose you. I can't stand to lose opportunity, yeah. All of the time we were together, and I know you can. Girl, you know that I love you, and everything you want me to, I'm ready to go. I can't stand to lose you.
His name is E.J. Chandler. E.J. Chandler on the Sounds of Soul record label, April 67 release, I Can't Stand to Lose You. Now, Mark Speck says that it goes for about $300. I can definitely tell you I paid... It was either $1 or less when I found it. I had to clean it up a little bit, but what do you want for $1 or less? It's definitely worth it. Johnny G spinning original vinyl 45s. It's all 1960s. Here's a girl group sound up next. This group was known as the Cotillions. Their debut single came out on the Ascot record label in May of 1962. They followed it up with this release on the ABC Paramount record label. Now, the tip-off on this 45 was seeing Tico Wilshire on the label, as I think he arranged this 45. Now, the lead singer, her name is Gwen Richards, and this charted number 27 on WDRC in Hartford, Connecticut. And this is from February 63. Let's give it a spin. The Cotillions with Gwen Edwards on lead on ABC Paramount. It's called Sometimes I Get Lonely. That girl group called the Cotillions. The Cotillions on ABC Paramount Records, February 63. Lead singer on that, her name, it actually says features Gwen Richards on lead. That was a number 27 record on WDRC in Hartford, Connecticut. She also went by the name of Gwen Richardson with their follow-up to this on the CB label. That's My Baby is that follow-up to that. Let's continue here for this next group. They're out of Newark, New Jersey. They have two releases on George Blackwell's Smoke record label. This is their first, a tune arranged by Eddie Morris, written by group member Tim Nichols. It features Larry Breeden on lead. Let's go to September 1967 for the Excavations. Excavations on the Smoke record label. It's called I Don't Love You No More. The Excavations.
I don't love you no more.
They're called the Excavations, Exsaveyoons. That one there on the Smoke record label, September 1967. I Don't Love You No More is the name of the tune. It's actually the flip side, which I think is the A side, which charted number 30 on WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio. It was called Somewhere. I think that was a slow song, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's continue here. Johnny G, we are in the last... Well, almost in the last half hour of the show. We'll see if we go overtime because I am beat. And my tooth is killing me. It really is. I took I got to get some yogurt. I got some Stonyfield yogurt, and what else do I got? I got something else. A chocolate chip cookie maybe I will take after the show. But let's continue here on last week's All 60s edition. I featured Patty Drew with her resung version of the song Tell Him, her first solo release for the Capitol label, her first of 13, released in April of 1967. Now, listener Jerry Nazen, he asked if I could play the original version of the song, which was done by the Drew-Vells. Of course, it still featured Patty Drew on lead, and it was their first of 3 as the Drew-Vells, and they were signed to Capitol Records. Now, the only male member of the group, his name is Carlton Beck. He wrote the song, and he's doing bass on the tune, and it actually did better the first time around, as the first time it was number 90 on Billboard. The resung version only made it to 92, but the Cashbox version did better with the did better with the second time around. It was number 85, as this Drew-Vells was only number 90. But the interesting thing is that both of her releases were number ones, and I think this version, that the original version, was number 1 on KGB in San Diego, California, as well as the resung version was number 1 in Philadelphia on WHAT. Either way, it's a good tune. It features Patty Drew on lead. This is for Jerry Nazen. This is the original, October 63, the Drew-Vells on Capitol Records. It's called Tell Him.
If you ever see what's for me, tell him that I love you. Tell him that I care. And if he ever needs me, tell him I'll be there. It happened the other night. We argued, but we didn't fight. He grabbed his hat and he slammed the door, and he hasn't been back no more. If and how you can see my man, tell him that I need him. Tell him he was right. Tell him that I miss you each and every night. I didn't mean what I said. Tell him I was wrong. Yes, sincerely written. Tell him to come back where he belongs. If you ever find that love of mine, tell him to forgive me. Tell him don't be mean. I didn't mean to start you. I wish it was all just a dream.
As by request for Jerry Nazen, that's the original version Released in October of 1963, Patty Drew on lead there, the Drew-Vells. The Drew-Vells on the Capitol record label. Tell Him is the name of the tune, the first of three. They do another great tune called Creepin', which is pretty good. I'll have to pull that out on a future All 60s show. Let's continue now. We go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for this next group that first recording back in 1966 for the Sonic record label as Chuck Corby and the Entrees. Then they also recorded as Chuck Corby and the Chances with releases on Sound, which was picked up by Veep Records. But here is one on Joe Averbach's Phoebe record label from 1967. Paid $3 for this 45. Chuck Corby and the Entrees. This is on Phoebe Records. It's called Honey, Let Me Stay.
You got our love on the witness stand, and you can be the judge and the jury just to give me one more chance. I'm so weary, and I'm so doggone tired that you can do our sweet love, honey, out in the fire.
Yeah, they're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There you go, 1967 on the Phoebe record label, Chuck Corby and the Entrees. That one there, Honey, Let Me Stay. I forget, the guy had quantity on this. I think he had like a 25 count box. He was selling them for $3. I don't know what this record sells for now, but I ended up buying one. It was at one of the record shows. And I collected the label. It was actually confusing because they thought this record was a 1961 release. It was not. As Joe Averbach, he released lots of 50s stuff in the early 1970s, so you got to be careful with some of those Phoebe 45s. We continue here, and I have no information on this next gal. Her name is Sarah Cooke, Cooke. I don't know if she's any relation to Sam Cooke. That would be interesting, but I didn't find anything about that. And it's a big sound production, like, you know, we've heard quite a few of those this evening. This is on Big Top Records, one of the many thousands of labels that I collect. And this was a missing number, and didn't find it for a lot of money at all. And let me know what you think. From September 64, her name is Sarah Cooke on Big Top Records. It's called Please Don't Go.
Please don't go. Without your love, I can't go on. Please don't go. There's nothing left for me if you're gone. Just a lifetime being lonely, baby. You're the one and only guy for me. Please don't go. My pride is gone, I'm begging you. Please don't go. I'll do whatever you want me to. Say it's not like you just told me. Take me in your arms and hold me close to you. Remember when, yeah, you didn't want to say goodnight, 'cause you couldn't stand to let me out of your sight. You loved me so much. How could it be that now you don't feel nothing for me? Oh no, please don't go. Don't leave me with a broken heart. Please don't go. Don't tear my life and soul apart. Don't leave me to dream about you. I don't want to live without you loving me. No, please don't go. Don't leave me to dream about you. I don't want to live without you loving me. No, no, please don't go. Please, please, darling, don't leave me all alone. No, don't leave me, please. Come on home.
Her name is Sarah Cooke. Sarah Cooke from September 1964 on the Big Top record label. Please Don't Go. Johnny G not going yet. It's getting close to Johnny G time leaving, but let's continue here. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan for this next group, best known for their 1963 release on the Big Top record label. We just featured a Big Top record, but they did a song called Misery, but then they also had a couple they did for RCA record label. Let's give a listen to their second, a tune written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Zerbin Hicks. Zerbin Hicks on lead. And again, when I saw this one was arranged by Tico Wilshire, I scooped up the 45. Let's go back to August 1967 for the sound of the Dynamics on RCA. It's called You Make Me Feel Good. Whoops, wrong one.
You make me feel good. You make me feel so good. Words don't come to me at my best. Oh yes. Words I feel that I can't express. My darling, no one can ever take your place. Oh yes. For in my dreams I visualize your face. And I see the glow in your eyes. Oh yes. You got the power to hypnotize, and you make my so good, baby. Yes, you do, girl. You're a good, good woman. You make me feel so good, baby. And I love you. But listen to me now. Happy, sad, or feeling blue. Oh, yes. I'll be there to stand by you. You know I love you. I'm bursting with pride, cause you make me feel so darn good inside. And you, only you, baby, nobody else can make me feel this way. I feel so good. I just don't know what to do with myself now. I'll make a vow to you. I swear by all I hold sacred that I'll be with you. Oh, baby, right or wrong, happy or sad, I'm gonna stick and stand by you. For just as long as you want me, baby, 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 I'm gonna be with you just as long as I can. If you just be my ever-loving woman, baby, I'm gonna certainly be your man, because I love you. Oh, darling, you make my liver quiver.
They're out of Detroit, Michigan. They're called the Dynamics. That one there from August 1967. The Dynamics on the RCA record label. Song entitled You Make Me Feel Good. Hopefully Johnny G making you feel good here on a Wednesday evening. Pouring rain here in Westchester County, New York. Heavy rain, it says. They haven't showed me the temperature yet, though. But let's continue here a little bit more here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And up next, a cover song. The song is called Everything, and tune written by Rudy Clark, Ralph Bailey, and Johnny Northern. This song first recorded in January of '67 for ABC Paramount by the Orlons. Or ABC, I should say, by the Orlons. It was also covered by the Daily News. They recorded it on Parrot Records in July of 1968, and this cover is from February of 1967, arranged by Spooner. Of course, that would be Spooner Oldham, produced by Papa Don. The Fame Recording Studio Band is on the background here, it says, and this artist goes by the name of just Chris. K-R-I-S. So let's go to February 67 for Chris, K-R-I-S, on Mala Records, and his rendition of the tune, Everything. Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition. His name is Chris. The name of the tune is called Everything. That one came out on the Mala record label, a division of Amy Mala Bell Records, February 1967. And let's go back to a sound of Motown here, as I like this tune by her. And she is the second white female signed to Berry Gordy Jr.'s Motown Complex. And the first was Debbie Dean. She was the second, and her name is Chris Clark. She was a 17-year-old, 6-foot platinum blonde from Santa Cruz, California. This is her first of 3 on the Motown subsidiary VIP record label. This tune written by Berry Gordy Jr. Let's go to December of 1965. Give a listen to Chris Clark. Chris Clark on VIP. It's called Don't Be Too Long.
If you wanna go away, well, I'm gonna let you go. You say you're coming back, this I know. But baby, don't be too long, no, no. Don't be too long, no, no. Don't be too long away from me. Go on and do whatever you have to do. Just come back to me when you're through. But baby, don't be too long. I'm begging, don't be too long. I'm praying, don't be too long away from me. I don't mind waiting, no, no, as long as I'm waiting for you, boy. And I'll be honest with you. Got to promise that you won't, I know that you won't find somebody new. I trust you, baby. Go on and do whatever you have to do. Just come back to me when you're through. But baby, don't be too long. I'm begging, don't be too long. I'm praying, don't be too long away from me. Away from me. Away from me. No, don't be too long. Hey, don't be too long. Oh, don't be too long. No, don't be too long.
Listener Warren Russell wants Johnny G to do a Motown special. That would have to be a lot of rarities there. I'd get clobbered on YouTube with the hits. But that's the sound of Chris Clark there, December 1965. That's on the VIP record label. Don't Be Too Long is the name of the tune. Johnny G not wanting to be too long, so we're going to go for, we are not yet over with the show here, so we got 10 more minutes to go. So we might do a little bit of overtime, but John G is beat here tonight. And let's go to this group out of New York. They're called The Compliments. They first recorded for the Shell record label. Mike Zara, he was the original lead singer of the group, and the group then signed with the Congress record label. They replaced Mike Zara with a new lead singer. His name was Vic Donna, and he sang lead with the he sang actually, the Parakeets backed Vic Donna up on a couple of releases on the Atlas label, but he's doing lead on this from October of 1965. The Compliments on Congress Records with Vic Donna on lead. It's called The Time of Her Life. That's the sound of the compliments there from October 1965. That came out on the Congress record label. The Time of Her Life is the name of the tune. Vic Donna is the lead singer on that. Yes, not to be confused with Vic Dana and Little Alter by completely different songs. That is for sure. We are winding down here on the All 60s edition, and we just heard a song by Chris called Everything. How about Everything? How about a song called Every Time? This time by a group from Washington, D.C., this girl group that recorded for Columbia Records. The group included Lavera Strange, Linda Jackson, Janice Williams, and Ella Garnett. Collectively, they were known as the Lavons. And this is their first of two. This tune produced by Carl Davis, arranged by Horace Ott. Let's go back to July of 1962 for the Lavons on Columbia. It's called Every Time.
Now every time you come close to me, every time you say you love me, now every time you say you want me, every time you say you need me. I know. Just how I feel. Now every time you say you want me, every time you say you need me.
That's the first of two for the Lavons out of Washington, D.C. July 1962. Song entitled Every Time. That one there on the Columbia record banner. And Adrian just asked for a Billy Stewart tune. Well, I got a Billy Stewart 45 up next, and I feature this singer from Washington, D.C. quite often here on the All 60s edition. First recording for Chess Records back in 1956 with the song Billy's Blues, but he returned to Chess Records in 1962, had 19 releases on the label. Let's give a listen to his second, and my copy is from the radio station library of WBAM, a station out of Montgomery, Alabama. It's the great Billy Stewart. This is from October 1962. Billy Stewart on Chess. The song is called Wedding Bells.
Wedding bells start ringing, Lord, in my ear. Hear the choir singing, and don't you know I say to hear them singing so loud and clear. Those bells, those are bells, those are bells. driving me mad. Wedding bells are driving me mad. Don't you know now? Can't you give them a ringing? And I might hear the choir singing. Don't you know? Give them a singing. So I loud tell a clear those bells. Those are bells. Those are bells. Are driving me mad. Bells are driving me mad. What would you do? What would you do? If your best girl had come and told you that she didn't. No, she didn't really love you. After all, you said planned and done. Don't you know I said if it was on me, I would cry. Good God, I might have tried. I would try really get down all about it. Lisa say, what don't I best buy? What can I just be? Eternally, don't you know, baby, good God about it. All I went be, all I went be. Feeling in dreams, and those bells are driving me mad.
That's the sound of Billy Stewart here on the All 60s edition. We all love Billy Stewart. I'll tell you, I got a whole bunch of his 45s pulled. I'll look for the one Adrian requested, but that's his second release on the Chess label, October 62. Billy Stewart with Wedding Bells, and unfortunate that we lost him much too soon on January 17th of 1970 in that horrible car accident. The car plunged right off the bridge. People in the car, too. I think everybody drowned in that crash there. Unfortunate demise for Billy Stewart. Let's continue here for this dancer, singer, actress, and sex symbol of the 1960s and 1970s. She was also the younger sister of WCBS FM disc jockey Dick Heatherton, who I used to hear on radio here in New York City on CBS FM. Now, she's best known for her TV appearance and her unforgettable films. Really? LOL. But that's what I put down there. But I think My Blood Runs Cold. Did anybody ever see that film with her in it? That was from 1965. Then in 1977, a 4-star movie called The Happy Hooker Goes to Washington. Okay, but she released a few pretty good 45s, I'd have to say, on the Coral, Decca, and MGM record labels. Here's one I have on Decca, and with an all-star lineup of writers. I think Mark Speck mentioned him in the chat room there. The tune written by David White and Johnny Madera, Leon Huff, Len Barry, and arranged by Jimmy Wisner. That's an all-star cast right there. Let's go to May of 1966 for sex symbol Joey Heatherton. I mean, I don't know how she looks now, all these years later, but Joey Heatherton on the Decca label. It's called When You Call Me Baby.
If your vocabulary was only baby, it would be good enough for me if you just said baby. Sugar,
There you go, Miss Joey Heatherton there from May 1966 on the Decca record label. When You Call Me Baby is the name of the tune there. And I wonder what she looks like today, because I understand she used to, was she married to, Johnny Madera? Was she married to, or they were just boyfriend and girlfriend? I think they were married, possibly. But anyway, that's Joey Heatherton. Let's continue here for this quintet that formed at Patrick Henry High School in St. Louis, Missouri, but they signed with with George Lerner's wonderful label out of Chicago, Illinois, beginning back in 1963. This is their 7th release on the wonderful record label from January 1965. Let's give a listen to the 5 Dutones. The 5 Dutones on Wonderful Records. It's called Sweet Lips.
Some fellas can't qualify, but they're not wealthy. And some fellas can't qualify, but they're not healthy. To win the love of an angel like you, you've got to be lucky. And baby, I hope I qualify. You're every beat of my heart when I'm with you. You make my blood pressure stop. You're my heart's desire, baby. You set my soul on fire. The thought of you being mine, I feel good all over. It makes me feel just like I found a 4-leaf clover. I'll give you all the time you need to think it over, baby. Start thinking, baby. Yeah! Yeah, baby! I love you, baby. And I don't mean maybe. Every time I kiss you, I start reeling and rocking. And my knees start to knocking. You're my pride and joy. You're my wonderful one. Baby, I need your loving. And I got to have all your loving. My, yeah, baby. Come on, baby. Baby, I love you. Kiss me, baby.
January 1965 release there for the 5 Dutones on the wonderful record label. Song entitled Sweet Lips. Well, Johnny's sweet jaw is starting to hurt. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to cool 1960s soul 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. You can try to send me your request. If I have the 45 easily found, I will pull it out and play it for you here on a Wednesday evening. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. If you missed any of the show, those of you on YouTube, you can go back. The show will be posted momentarily right after I sign off, or you can go to my website, vinyltreasures.net. You can stream or download the show there for your listening enjoyment. But that's going to do it for tonight, folks. I am hurting right here on this tooth, and it's hurting my cheek, probably swelling up too. So it's not a good thing, and I know many of you know what I'm going through, but that's going to do it for tonight, folks, and I will be back next Wednesday evening again at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 to midnight, for more Soul 45s out of my collection. You can tune in on Saturday night, though, if you like 1950s and early 60s 45s. I play the music chronologically there. We start off with the early 50s. We end in like 1963, 64, so I'm able to feature in lots of requests on that show. I get a ton of requests for that show on Saturday evening. So thank you all for tuning in, and hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. We're going to close the show tonight with a left-handed female guitarist. You know her. She's from Beaumont, Texas. Her name is Barbara Ozen, but you know her as Barbara Lynn. I think I played her debut single last week, Give Me a Break, I think. But here's one she does on the Jamie label. This is her 11th of 15 on the Jamie label. It's a song she wrote. This is produced by Huey Moe and Steve Tyrell. This charted number 95 on Billboard, 26 on the R&B, a big number 4 record on WPLO. If you were listening in Atlanta, Georgia, the closer tonight is from November 64 by Barbara Lynn. Barbara Lynn on Jamie. It's called It's Better to Have It. It's better to have Johnny G here on a Wednesday and Saturday night, isn't it? Well, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you all again for tuning in. If you're new to the program, those of you on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Click the bell to get notifications when Johnny G goes live. You'll get an email, but you have to be registered on YouTube. You can watch me anywhere, anytime, but you won't be able to participate in chat. Not that you should, but you still could if you wanted to. Thank you all again. I gotta go. I am beat. I will see you next Wednesday. I'll see some of you Saturday night. Just want to say, everybody, so long, Barbara Lynn.
To have it.